Hello and good morning. Scary Champion, Psychic Medium. I haven't done a video for most of a week because I'm recovering from arm surgery. I found it hard to do anything. Anyway, I have an unusual one for you this morning. The reason I'm sitting at this odd angle. You'll have to bear with me till I find a camera angle that works. But I'm going to show you something called automatic writing. And I don't know why it's called automatic. I haven't a clue. But for those who can do it, it just clicks on. When I was younger, I was about 16, I met a guy who could do it, and he doubted that I could do it. He said, "You'll never be able to do this. I'm the only one I know." I put my pen down and it began writing. It wrote tons and tons of nonsense. So we sort of dismissed it after a complete yellow fad and never did it again. And kind of discouraging. And then, I don't know, 10 years later, something I picked up a pen and a piece of paper, and it always wrote the same thing over and over and over. Never changed. And I knew it was my mother. It wasn't 10 years ago, longer ago than that. I always wrote the same thing. And I won't tell you what that one thing was, but it was a great message to get from the other side. And I woke up this morning thinking, that'd make a great video. So I did sit down, and as you can see, Joe was what I got. And there's no way that's my handwriting. I don't I don't write that large or that big or that well. My stuff's here, I'll show you. I wrote down, I woke up in the middle of the night the other night. Well, I can't show you. But I did a I came in and I had this idea for a video, a really great one that had come from the other side. And it's about the future and what's going to happen and stuff like that. And I made a few notes, totally illegible. Most of the notes I keep here, sometimes I have to call my wife in to read them. So for me to get this really, really, really clear, Joe, and that doesn't look anything like anything I've ever written. So I thought I would try it again this morning. That was last night, to see if, and I'm going to try and do it in a way that trying to get the camera to pick it up. I'm sort of restricted in my little arm sling. And how it works is you just put the pen down and ask a question, and usually someone on the other side will answer it. In this case, I have someone named Marcia, who I don't. Oh, Marcia. I heard from Marcia the last time when it was 9 years ago. I was standing in a shopping window kind of thing, and she said her name. Anyway, so Marcia's going to be helping with this. A guide that I knew 9 years ago, but we never did anything else after. Just she did some awakening stuff for me as far as helping me realize some things. So this is just a standard Bic pen. We've got this little alert thing that pops up. I'm going to have to get rid of. It drives me nuts. Go away, go away. There it is. And it's just a 10-cent Bic. I think it's a 10-cent Bic. You can buy a whole package of them for not much. And the balls run on them, and these run really well on ink. So I'm just going to start here and see what comes up. Let Joe Let Joe squiggle. Let Joe. So I'm guessing this is someone I'm going to run into named Joe that I need to let do something. I'm not sure what, but I don't think I'm supposed to know. Anyway, pretty simple, right? Let Joe. Again, not my handwriting, but it is the same handwriting that was last night. This Joe down here compares with that Joe up there. Looks like squiggle, doesn't it? But clearly it says let Joe, and then it says let Joe again. It just said Joe last night. So now, and I don't know what this means. I haven't a clue. Often things from the other side aren't that clear. But it's possible Joe wants to be a guide. See? And I'm supposed to let Joe be a guide. Could easily be that. I won't know until I'm going down the road at a convention or on the phone and I'm doing a reading and someone says Joe, and then I'll see if it's okay with the other guide. This is kind of ridiculous stuff. Yeah, I'm sitting around talking to my guides, but that's sort of how it happens. People you can't see, you never meet, you never knew, are helping you do what it is you need to do. But it's possible that Joe needs to be a guide of mine. Joe needs to help me with someone. Sort of, now see if I open up my mediumistic abilities, which are mostly open. If I'm talking like this, and I didn't go into a meditative state before I began talking. I just started talking about the ink pen and the paper and automatic writing, which is a left brain thing. And I never got into a meditative state, which I'm still not in now. But if I go to that side, I'm shifting to my Joe is a materialistic guy, and he wants to come through for someone. He's passed, but he wants to come through for someone. He wants to talk with someone. Anyway, I'll know at some point. One of you will call saying you have a Joe that needs to talk, or Joe needs to come through. He may just be a guide of mine, maybe trying to help me. And I don't usually make those decisions. Guides make the decision to help you because that's what they want to do. And I usually don't have anything to do with the choosing. But this is an older guide of mine named Marcia trying to get him a job, maybe. I have no idea. But at some point during the day or tomorrow, it's like a Pandora's box. You open up automatic writing, you hear all kinds of things. And then the real work begins. You have to identify who it is, what do they want, what can you do. So I didn't know this was going to show up as this. I had no clue. I hadn't done automatic writing. I can't remember when. Certainly a decade or two ago. And then only briefly. So it's a little box you open, and all of a sudden, all these little flowers and ribbons and wonderful thoughts and things begin to spring out. So, someone from the other side, a guide that I knew a long time ago, is wanting for me to let Joe come out and do or say something, which I'll do at some point. Whenever someone says, someone comes for a reading and it'll say Joe, then I say, oh, he was here earlier. I'll keep this piece of paper and show them, and then it'll make sense. Well, that's my video today. Strange as it is, long as it is, complicated as it is, and yet for me, very simple, because all I have to do is open myself up, as you can do. Those of you looking for a way to communicate with the other side, this might be it. And when you put the pen to paper, it should just take off on its own. You can feel it being, it's like someone has their hand over your hand. That's what it feels like to me. So I've got this ink pen. It feels like someone has their hand over mine, making it right. Interesting, isn't it? No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching. Thought you were through with this video, didn't you? And so did I. I saved that video, stood up, and the phone rang, and it's somebody named Joe. True story. Wanted me to talk to her husband who has passed. So let Joe, this has to do with Joe. And we talked a little bit about automatic writing. So she's going to attempt to contact her husband using automatic writing. It's an individual thing. It really can't be taught. It's just a matter of putting an ink pen in your hand, put it to pad, and relax. There you come or it won't. A lot of people can do it pretty easy. Anyway, this is the absolute final ending to this video. Joe called. It was all about Joe. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.